get ready for a new episode of Call Me Crazy with Shiri Gabriel.
Hello, my friends. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be a mind-blowing, fun, maybe funny episode because it is all about matchmaking. Yes, you heard right, matchmaking. I have the pleasure of having here Mila Tzur. She has an incredible story because it's not just what you might think matchmaking is. There is a whole art, science, and spirituality that she brings with her. And Mila, she will tell you about herself, but let me just tell you a little bit about history and her story. First of all, Mila and I, we've known each other for years, over 20 years, since the kids were actually, I don't know, -2. I have no idea, but it has been a long time. And so we have that connection as friends, as, you know, seeing our children and our families grow. I also, just as an anecdote, I approached Mila when I heard that she's doing matchmaking. I actually wrote to her, I said, I'm so excited. Do you want to be a guest on my podcast? And she said, when I'm ready, I will let you know. And Mila actually called me a couple of weeks ago and said, I'm ready. So I was so excited. Listen, things don't happen when we want them to happen. Things happen when other people are ready. And so we need to be patient. And so thank you, Mila, for reaching out and being ready and being here. So Mila has been a natural matchmaker, natural, that's the key word here, since 1992. So forever and ever. And yesterday, actually, congratulations, Mila, you celebrated your 1-year anniversary since the business Destined to Match was created. And we're going to talk more about that. So again, another great timing for you to be here and celebrate you together. Currently, you told me that 5 couples are dating, so that's fantastic. You'll tell us more about that. You come from the corporate world like myself in 2014. After 15 years in the corporate world, like me, you were working for a large pharmaceutical company. You decided to leave and start your journey as an entrepreneur. So I love it. I love it that you're here with us because you have a story. We all have a story. I told you this, but you have a story that someone is waiting to hear for different reasons. And I want you to inspire them. And I want you to tell us all about the matchmaking. So Mila, over to you. Tell us, kick this off with a little bit about you, a little bit about what you've done, what you're doing, and you know, the spirituality that you're fascinated with. So welcome, Mila.
Thank you so much, Shiri. Thank you so much for the warm welcome and speaking about me so wonderfully. So I don't even know where to begin. It is so exciting. It is just, working with souls. How can it not be exciting, right? Helping people on such a level. I can cry. I should have brought my tissue because it's so exciting to me. But I guess I'll start with the fact that, life is happening for us. It's not happening to us. Life is happening for us. And that's a sentence that I heard from Tony Robbins. And I really, really connect to that so much more now in my life. So I guess we'll have to go back to the beginning, right? I was born in the former USSR. As I was 4 years old, we immigrated to Israel. When I was 14, we immigrated to Canada. So another start, a new beginning again. We followed my father because of his employment. And, it was challenging, new country, new culture, etc. But again, life is happening for us, right? So I arrived in a city called Oshawa. There weren't too many immigrants. So I always felt this need to go back to Israel, where I grew up from age 4 to 14. And I decided to go to a kibbutz as a volunteer. And on the kibbutz, I met my husband. But I have to mention that prior to arriving to this kibbutz, I was supposed to go north, but things shifted last minute. The spiritual aspect of, changed, and I ended up going somewhere else. So I guess that's how we met. When before leaving, I introduced my future brother-in-law to my future sister-in-law, and that was the first match that I created. That was in 92. They got married, they had 2 children, my nephews, and my husband, and then my boyfriend and I decided to go back to Canada because I really miss my mom and my family. So we came back to Canada together. And I was working for a dental supply company. And at that place, I met the potential couple number two. She was speaking to me on the phone. She was my client at the dental supply company. He was working in the warehouse. For some reason, I thought, hey, both single, let's try. They fell in love. They had two beautiful babies. And this is all going back to 94. And as life went on, again, I was always that one person who, when you tell me you're single, hold on, let me see who I know. Maybe I can introduce you to someone. It was just a natural. That's why I say I'm a natural matchmaker. I always used to enjoy, doing that for fun. So in 2017, the third match happened. A friend's son was coming back from Israel to Canada to finish some business. I had a friend who was also single. They met, 2 kids later. And so 6 children were born in total and 3 matches were made, which is super, super exciting. But I never really thought that this would lead to a business or a livelihood or anything that I would do in the future. As I said, I was, busy mom with 2 kids working in the corporate world, not interested in, that type of aspect of a business, but, things happen for a reason. So I guess I'll go back. So October of 2022 arrives. Someone who I've sent on a date before reaches out. Hey, do you know anybody? Can you help me out again? Said, I don't really know anyone anymore, but you're familiar with the Everything Jewish Toronto, 40,000 Jewish people on Facebook. So I just basically posted a question. I'm helping a friend. Do we know anybody who's from that age to that age? I think 100 people reached out back to say, can you help me too? Can you help me too? Can you help me too? So from October to June, I was really trying, because I've never done it on such a massive, large scale. And things were working out. There was one couple that was, created, which is amazing. And then in July, because I was dealing with so many people, I had to change, the aspect. I had to start charging money. So the business was born July 1st of 2023. And I'm so excited that, this is what I get to do every morning. Just super exciting. In a nutshell, that's how it all began.
That's incredible. Okay, so tell us like a day in the matchmaker's life. Like how does it work?
How does it work? So word of mouth has been amazing. People reach out every day. I think I speak to 3 to 4 new people a day at this moment. I usually ask everyone, to provide me with some information. So I would send them an email. This is what I need, a few pictures. And I have to focus my energy and attention to the clients that choose to hire me. And usually people hire me for a full year. So if it's July 1st of 2023 to July 1st of 2024, and in the process, we try to, I try to seek out as many potential bachelors or bachelorette as I can. Facebook has been an amazing tool. And of course, I ask, everyone I know, so do you know so-and-so, can you help me to, to find that perfect match for someone else? I do try to use my intuition as much as I can, but of course it's not always a possibility because people come with a certain list of characteristics or specific things that they're looking for when it comes to a partner. So, but basically it's a lot of communicating, speaking, searching, attending events, working. Yeah, but I love it. I enjoy every minute of it. Attending events as well, working with other matchmakers in the city. We've become, sort of a network of matchmakers. I try to bring the corporate experience into this world as well, and combine the two, combine it into something a little bit different.
Amazing.
Thank you.
Spirituality. Let's talk about that because I think that's what one of the features, obviously, that makes you different or differentiates you from others. So how do you integrate spirituality? What does that mean, spirituality in matchmaking?
So would you agree that we all have an intuition?
100%.
100%, right? So some of us might have a little bit of a more heightened intuition than others. You can learn how to increase your intuition even more by taking different classes and, stuff like that. So my interest in spirituality, I would say, started when my father was, exiting this world. He was dying of cancer. And I've had some experiences before where we used to attend the Kabbalah Center. So we would pray, there's the combination of 3 letters that represents the name of God. And you can see that all over in the Kabbalah Center, all over the walls, right? So we've had that type of experience in our 20s. My husband actually took some meditation classes. He had more experience than I did. So, but I wasn't really interested. I had no time. Busy mom, 2 kids.
Corporate.
Exactly. Exactly. Didn't have the time or interest in any of that. But as mentioned, my father was exiting. I've never really had to deal with such grief. So I went to see a psychotherapist.
Sorry, I just have to point out the word that you're using, exiting. You're not using dying or
No.
passed away, exiting.
Exiting.
Wow. Okay.
Because I truly believe that, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. Okay. And we leave the body here, but the soul essence of our existence, of our experience, continues through the journey that it needs to continue. So we exit, and we continue. That's how I see it. So I went back to the the human or the earthly explanation. So I went to see a psychotherapist. I guess she's had some work with different types of spiritual aspects. So she wasn't surprised with what I was going to share. I have no idea why I mentioned that I see ghosts, I feel things when I sleep. I have a lot of visitors. Strange, right? And I honestly do not know why I mentioned it. But instead of saying, oh, maybe you need some medication because you're going through all these weird,
people.
Because some people, potentially would think that would be a good thing to do. She suggested a book, and that book was sort of the eye-opening that I had at age 35 about past lives.
And what's the name of the book?
Many Lives, Many Masters. It was written by Brian Weiss, and I loved it from the moment I read it. And I started having all kinds of experiences that I couldn't explain, hearing things, potentially feeling things a little bit more excessively. I started going to meditation, and different people that started entering my life for the purpose of me learning more about spirituality. Everything had a pattern, and everything had there was a path that I was going on, even with this experience. And I began going to different mediums, psychics, healers. I was interested in everything, and I wanted to learn as much as I could on the whole aspect of spirituality. So of course, as I was learning, I was growing as well with my abilities. So I'll give you an example when it comes to feeling an energy. Okay, I had 2 girlfriends that I met through different places, and their energy felt very similar to me. And I couldn't understand what does that mean? What do I need to do with what I know, right? So what? So I said, maybe I should introduce them. Let's have a coffee. I invited both. We had a coffee. They've become best friends. They live in the same area, right? So the same can be applied to, bachelors and bachelorettes who have a certain similar energy potentially. So I try to feel it out. I don't know. I'm not always successful in that aspect. I don't always feel it out, but that is something that guides me. Yes, definitely when I do this work, 100%.
Brilliant. It makes a lot of sense. I mean, I'm an intuitive person. And so in my coaching, when I coach, when I train, when I teach, I can sense, and I am, people often get surprised, my clients, how bang on I am about, certain things, and so important in matchmaking, right? Being able to be in tune, right? Intuitive and in tune with one person in order to match them. Because as you said at the beginning, right? It's, we talked a little bit about this before we started recording, how sensitive it is, right? I mean, talk a little bit about that, because it's a relationship. I mean, you said to me, it's like, listen, imagine me, someone turns out to be a psycho and I introduce them.
It's a very sensitive, people come from all sorts of backgrounds, different, life stories, situations, circumstances. So it's not easy to be matching, a man and a woman per se, right? And if things don't work out, do they come and, run back to me? What did you introduce me to? So you really have to be very careful. But on the other hand, just like you meet someone on the internet, you have to be cautious. You have to have certain, safety precautions that you would consider. So I think, when you meet someone through a matchmaker, you still have to have the same type of safety thoughts behind the scenes. We do the best job we can in interviewing, speaking, but there are things that we may not pick up, when we speak to
Right.
someone on Zoom or, personally, but also from a spiritual perspective. If you need to meet someone specific, if there's a specific soul that has a contract with you, we'll call it that, from beyond in this life, and you have to meet one another, you will meet one another. You have the free will to go forward with a wedding or not a wedding, just to be friends. You have
Right.
obviously the free will of what type of relationship it will be, but that relationship always has to occur for whatever reason, right? And we
Right.
don't have control
Right.
over that, or we
Right.
do. It's a different story.
So what does success look like to you in your
Of course,
business, in your life?
of course. So success in the business, we'll speak about that. As I mentioned, 5 couples are dating right now. I meditate often, and I meditated recently this week, and I saw a chuppah, a bride and a groom standing under the ceremony of a Jewish wedding. I think I know who it is, but we'll see. Time will tell if I'm right. Time
Nice.
will tell if I'm right. So success, a happy love story. That's what I'm doing this for, right? I want to see. I'd love to be the one. She was responsible for 200 weddings. That's insane. That's amazing. I can cry just talking about it.
Amazing. Yeah, yeah. Well, I do truly believe that we are put in this earth actually to be happy.
Exactly,
And
exactly,
people forget about that. I think that is our purpose
exactly.
and our
I agree.
objective.
That's
We
right.
are not put in this life to be miserable. We're put in this life to be happy. And I think, how you said it, which is again, it's still in my head over and over again, life happens for us. Right. And
Exactly.
so if it happens for us, then I think we actually have a responsibility to be
That's
happy. I think,
100%.
if we're and you call it, we have uh the human experience. I'm using all these things that I've never heard, by the way, which I love.
Yes,
The
yes, of course.
the exiting, the human experience. So the human experience, I think we are responsible to create a human experience that makes us happy. I think that's part of it. And what you do is exactly that. I mean, helping people find happiness through, you know, being in a relationship. Again, not that everybody has to be in a relationship, and that brings me to my next question. Who should reach out to you?
Ages 18 to 80. Those are the ages that I help everybody. I do predominantly work with the Jewish community at this moment, but I am happy to expand, beyond just the Jewish community. I do work with the LGBT community as well, Jewish and non. So anybody who's single, who's looking, and you have to remember there is a cost involved. Okay, not everybody may have the ability to pay the money that's requested.
Well, but
Uh,
this is your business. That's how you need to feed your
100%,
children.
100%. But because this business also comes, it's a mitzvah, right? So a lot of people have the assumption that people who do this should do this for free. So you have to get out of that space where it is my business. I do spend a lot of time searching, etc. There's no guarantee. Unfortunately, I cannot promise anything, but I will do my utmost best, to search for the person who might be a good. And again, it always goes back to the spiritual aspect. If I trust and believe that this is what I'm supposed to do, the people that come through are the ones that I'm supposed to help, and the people who I'm supposed to introduce them to. Again, trust, 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 trust. Right? That's the biggest job is trusting.
Well, I know there are a lot of divorcees. I mean, divorce rate is at like 60%. So I'm going to assume that, of course, you work with people who are. So anyone who's single, doesn't matter, divorced, was married, children, no children. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
That's right. Of course, there's more excitement when it's your first time getting married. So 30 to 45, I'm going to say it is my most favorite age group because it's still their first time finding that, potentially love story for the
Sure.
rest of their lives.
Yeah.
Can get married, for a long time.
Yeah.
But of course, I do have people who are widowed or, older, 70s that are looking for that second or third love interest.
And might
Nobody,
not want to get married, by the way, but they want a
yeah,
long-term relationship, and
100%.
you can help them with that. So it's not about the marriage; it's about the
Companion,
long-term relationship. Yeah,
companionship, someone to go to the movies with, somebody to have dinner with,
somebody to cook for me.
that too. Definitely.
Excellent, excellent. That's
I can see that it's hard to be alone. Definitely. That's what I'm, seeing so far, that,
yeah.
loneliness is hard. It's not easy.
Well, we're social beings, right? So it's
100%.
yeah,
100%.
yeah.
100. Definitely.
That's wonderful. That's, I mean, and this is what I told you, Mila. It's not just about what you do, but your journey, right? And
100%.
and that whole idea of spirituality, because it's not just about matchmaking someone, but it's about making sure that to follow that spirituality, that intuition that you have, that really gives you an advantage, because most people are not, they don't know how to dig
Big.
deep into that intuition and make that happen. So that's amazing. I think that's wonderful.
So
um Go ahead.
it's available to all of us. We can learn how to enhance our intuitive gifts. We're all born with it. I find that women are a little bit more intuitive than men for some reason, but it doesn't mean that men cannot be as intuitive as well.
Yeah. I think
Um,
because we're more in tune with our feelings. I
that's
think
true.
that's,
That's
I
true.
mean, naturally, I think as mothers,
Yes.
and
Yes.
I think that's how we were created.
Sorry, but some women don't get to be mothers in this experience or in this journey. But I still feel that women are a little bit more intuitive than men for whatever reason.
We have that built in, whether we have
Yes,
children or not. That's what I meant. Like,
that's true.
naturally, right?
Yes,
It's
correct.
innately. That's
That's
the word.
right. That's right. I
Yeah.
agree. I agree.
And so, first of all, I hope that I never have to use your services. Okay, I'm happily married. I hope it stays like that. So,
Of course, of course. But
you know, there's like, it's like when you see a doctor, you go for your physical. It's like, I hope I only get to see you once a year. That's it. I don't want to see you again. So, our friendship, of course, and helping each other and helping one another, especially in our businesses, that's key. Um, I just want to ask you, so if you had a magic wand,
Mhm.
what would you do with it?
If I had a magic wand in business or in my personal life,
That's up to you.
um, oh boy, tough questions. Um, well, again, I enjoy helping people on different levels, right? So if I had the magic wand, it would be 100% success to all the people that come to see me for the purpose of getting married or for, finding a partner. Unfortunately, from what I see so far, it is not 100% this business, unfortunately. But if I had the magic wand, I would love to be able to help each and every person who comes seeking my help.
Yeah. And that's honestly, that's what I had in my head, because I see you like a god fairy, right? Sorry,
Yes,
fairy godmother, fairy
yes, yes.
godmother with the magic one. Ding, love, love. So
That
my
would be amazing. That would
that
be
would
amazing.
be amazing,
That
right?
was amazing. Yes. And I always have to tell the person who signs up at the beginning, I can't promise anything. And I wish this business was 100%, but some people will not find their love through me. But you have to be proactive, open-minded, keep your antennas on, because you never know. You might meet that person at the supermarket. You might meet them on the bus. We don't know
Yeah,
where,
yeah.
that
You're an
person.
enabler, right? Just like any coach, any mentor. I mean, you
Exactly.
are enabling people. You're providing them the tools. It's up to them, really,
Of
because in this case, people have to be open. People have to know how to communicate, how to speak, how to, they have to do the work as well. So just like anything else, I mean, you cannot, you don't have that magic wand, really.
Exactly.
So,
Exactly.
but you do have the tools to enable them and to facilitate and to help them find the love that they're looking for.
I call myself a love recruiter.
A love recruiter. Okay, I love that. I love a recruiter. Okay, okay. So, love recruiter, how can people reach you?
So I'm on Facebook, Mila Tzur, Tzur is my last name. I'm on Instagram, Destined to Match. They can call me. And yeah, those are the best ways to reach me. I don't have a website yet. I'm still working on that. It's a work in progress.
Okay.
I'm not very technical, so one step at a time. I was so busy matchmaking for a whole year that I didn't have time to tend to
Well,
the tools.
exactly. And you're intuitive. You don't,
Exactly.
digital tools will cut the technical stuff. I
That's right.
will put your coordinates.
Just call me.
Exactly, exactly. I will put your coordinates on the description of the podcast so people can reach out to you. Mila, again, thank you for being here. And I really hope that you provide love to anyone who's open to it, anyone who truly wants it. And what you're doing is, really, you're like God's messenger. So thank you for bringing so much love and happiness to people. I appreciate you for that. Thank you,
Thank you.
Mila. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for your time, Sherry. I appreciate it too.
This has been another episode of Call Me Crazy with Shiri Gabriel. Make sure to join in next week for a new episode, and if you would like to contact Miss Gabriel about speaking or training at your next conference, function, or event, visit shiri.coach.